the government, whether it was the Foreign Secretary, whether it was the then NSA, took a decision not to hit back at Pakistan. This is what is really shocking, sir. 2006, Mumbai terror bombings. Sir, it is also important to point out that after the Mumbai attacks, 7 months after that, the then Prime Minister met the Pakistani president on the sidelines of the SCO summit in Russia and decided that India and Pakistan would continue dialogue. So we kept appeasing them. Our governments of the day over decades kept appeasing them, putting no pressure on them to stop their terror funding, terror organizing. Sir, in 2006, 2 months after the Mumbai train bombings, the then Prime Minister met Pakistani President Musharraf on the sidelines of the NAM summit in Havana and again agreed to maintain the peace process. So that so-called peace process was no peace process at all. It was only peaceful for Pakistan. Indians in large numbers were sacrificed. India was attacked repeatedly and large numbers of Indians were harmed and killed. Sir, worst of all, in 2009, within 8 months of the Mumbai terror attack, the then Prime Minister met his Pakistani counterpart at Sharm el-Sheikh in Egypt and agreed to again continue the cooperation with Pakistan. This for a country that for 78 years has been attacking India ceaselessly. Our approach in the past was only to cooperate, only to talk, not to retaliate, not to teach them a lesson. Sir, the worst part of this at Sharm el-Sheikh was a reference to Balochistan, which can be interpreted as if India and Pakistan are equated, as if India does similar things to Pakistan, whereas the issues are entirely different. There are no terror camps in India training terrorists and sending them to Balochistan. There is no equation at all. There is no comparison at all. And yet, our government of the day had no compunction in granting such a hyphenation with Pakistan. Sir, this can go on and on. There are many, many different such examples, and I will come to some of them. Sir, one question has been raised as to whether there was pressure on India to conclude the hostilities. There was absolutely no pressure on India. This has been pointed out again and again. Sir, any country can call and make suggestions. Anybody can do that. We as members of parliament can call up our counterparts when they are in the midst of hostilities, and we can give them suggestions. That is not how the hostilities ended. Sir, India has pointed out very, very clearly that this is a bilateral issue, and we have no intention of escalating. We would stop hostilities if Pakistan requested. And until and unless Pakistan directly requested India, we did not stop the hostilities. It had no relation, no connection to any requests by anybody else until Pakistan directly requested India. And sir, I ask my friends in the opposition, this has not been contradicted by anyone. Has anyone contradicted India's assertion that we insisted that it had to be a Pakistani request that we will respond to? And Pakistan finally came to its knees and requested, and that is what we responded to. Now, it is shameful that many in our country keep questioning the Indian armed forces, keep questioning the Indian government, and don't question what Pakistan stands for, what Pakistan says. Sir, I want to point out what Pakistan has said. They made absurd claims. Pakistan has made a claim to an international TV channel on 7th May. Pakistan's IB Minister Ataullah Tarar said, there are no terrorist camps in Pakistan. Have any of our friends in the opposition questioned that? Many of them have been quoted repeatedly in international media. Have any of them questioned that? Pakistan, where the most infamous terrorist in memory, the Al-Qaeda chief, was sheltered next to an army base claiming that it doesn't have terror camps, when terror camps have been pointed out in satellite imagery, when not only terror camps have been pointed out, because of the efforts of our government, many terrorist organizations and many individual terrorists have been proscribed by a variety of multilateral organizations, including the United Nations itself. Sir, I would like to point out that when the Honorable Congress member from Assam talked about certain things, I think it does deserve a response. I compliment him and others who said that they stand with the government of India, but the questions and the accusations against the government cannot go unanswered. Sir, it was amusing when he asked when POK would be got back. Sir, it was amusing when he referred to the number of Rafales and the China question. Sir, I would like to point out, and he used the point and he used the word that India bowed down. And his leader, whom he cited today in relation to the China question, has often used the word surrender. I think it is important for this House to point out how many times over the decades Congress has surrendered India's interest. Please have the patience to listen to this. 1948, Pakistan illegally occupied 78,000 square kilometers, the same POK that my friend was referring to. When our armed forces wanted just a little bit more time to conclude the armed operations and take it back, the then Prime Minister took the matter to the UN. Surrender, number one, it started from day one. 1949, Congress ignored the Kabah Valley, which was leased to Burma by UK. Manipur had received rent until 1949. Congress did nothing about it, surrendered that. Surrender number two. Sir, in 1954, our then Prime Minister conceded India's rights in Tibet, accepting China's annexation without gain, withdrawing our military escorts and services. A very major surrender, number three. Sir, in 1958, under the Noon-Nehru Pact, Berubari was transferred to East Pakistan, despite severe opposition. Another surrender. So I lose count of the number of surrenders, but there are quite a lot. Please allow me to point out a few more. If I list all the surrenders that Congress did of India's national interest, then the 16 hours that the Honorable Speaker has granted us will not be enough. But I will point out a few more. Sir, in the 1950s, our then Prime Minister rejected the proposal for a UN permanent seat for India in the Security Council. Surrender to China. Surrender. 1960, India conceded the Sarja Majra, Rakh Hardit Singh, Pathan Ke, Suleiman Ke and Chak Lereke in Punjab to Pakistan. Another surrender. Sir, our then Prime Minister played down the value of Aksai Chin in 1959, calling it barren and uninhabited, when in fact it is full of mineral resources, dismissing conflict with China. Another surrender. Sir, I can just go on and on and on. In 1963, Pakistan conceded more than 5,000 square kilometers in POK to China. India stayed silent. Surrender. So I can just keep going on. In 1965, India returned the Haji Pir Pass to Pakistan under the Tashkent Agreement. Surrender. Sir, under the 1971 Shimla Agreement, India returned 5,000 square miles to Pakistan, while Pakistan retained 30,000 square miles, and 93,000 Pakistani soldiers were released, while at the same time, 56 Indian soldiers died in Pakistani jails. There are so many other surrenders, sir. If I keep listing all the surrenders, then, as I said, the whole time will be taken up. Sir, I can tell you that there are many, many more surrenders that the Congress party did of Indian interest. And since the issue of China was raised, I think it is important to point out, isn't it the leader of the opposition who on social media is seen praising China's capabilities, China's drones? Has he once ever complimented the Indian armed forces and the Indian indigenous technologies? Has it happened? So let me point out, others are pointing this out. Others are saying that India has done very well on this front. International experts are pointing this out. But our opposition members are refusing to take a stand on this. नहीं, मजा कैसे लगेगा? मजा कैसे लगेगा? क्योंकि ये बहुत कठिन बातें हैं. देखिए, ये तो मिर्ची है, कहां से अच्छा लगेगा? Yes, Kachatibu, Ran of Kutch, there are many others. Yes, there are many others if I start listing them. देखिए, मजा तो तब आता अगर आप भी फ्री हैंड देते हैं. आपके कई सारे ऐसे नेता हैं जो बहुत अच्छा बोल सकते हैं. मैं तो सुन रहा था मेरे मित्र मान्य शशि थरूर जी जो बहुत ही अच्छा बोलते हैं. ये तो हालांकि अलग बात है कि अभी कुछ दिनों से उनके नेतृत्व उनके पार्टी के तरफ से उनको बोलने नहीं देते हैं. लेकिन मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा. लेकिन मुझे लेकिन सुन तो लीजिए सर. लेकिन मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा कि उनको देश के हित में बोलने के लिए कोई रोक नहीं सका. मजा तो उसमें आता है. Point to be noted. Sir, I would request my friends on the other side that before they raise issues about China, they must, and they talk about candor, they must speak with candor about any MOUs that they might have with the Chinese ruling party. Does the Indian public not have a right to know what is the understanding that the Congress party has with the Chinese Communist Party? Does it not raise questions when they keep raising points and rebuttals and issues which are constantly aimed against the Indian armed forces, which are constantly aimed against the government of India? But as I said, in so many appearances before global media, I have not seen them raise questions about China other than praising China's technology and drones. I have not seen them questioning Pakistan for all the absurd and false claims that it makes. Sir, I said earlier that globally experts are recognizing India's indigenous capacities. I just point out two experts, sir, and then I'll start coming to my conclusion. Sir, John Spencer, who's the chair of Modern War Institute in the US last year in 2024, he said, "Make in India has transformed the country's defense landscape. From meeting 32% of the Army's ammunition needs domestically in 2014, in 2024, India meets 88% of its ammunition needs domestically." Sir, another expert, Tom Cooper, who is a military historian and an aviation analyst, says this right after Operation Sindoor's attack on Pakistan. Quote, "The world knew about India's capability, but it had not been demonstrated before. And all of a sudden, within 24 hours, India showed that it can hit Pakistan hard." Unquote. Sir, the reality is, all the statistics that I have been citing about hitting Pakistani air bases, about hitting Pakistani terrorist sites, are all backed up. They are backed up by satellite imagery. They are backed up by recordings. Whereas the Pakistani claims against India are fake. They are fake news. They are propaganda. And sadly, some of our friends